Been obsessed with magic items for D&D lately, so I drew these little pendant pins and I was like, let me try to make these in real life. First, I got rid of all the extra bits in my drawings so that I could use these as a template to cut out pieces of felt to make these for real. I always draw in Procreate, but I needed to move these into Photoshop so that I could make sure that they were 2 inches wide across and that they would fit on the pins that I bought. Little test here, they fit. I left some white space around the pattern pieces while I was cutting them out because it'll help me cut them out of the felt easier later. When I was drawing them on Procreate, I made sure that I used similar colors to felt colors that I already had so that they would be complementary. And here you can see why I left so much white space around the pattern pieces. The felt is taped behind this pattern piece so that when I'm cutting it, I'm cutting through both layers and it's super accurate to what the pattern was supposed to be. I'm going to glue these together first and then stitch over them to make them a little more detailed. And I'm also going to add a smaller piece to the back so that they can kind of be a pocket and hold like a coin or a rock or something. Double checking that they will fit on the pin, and it looks like it will. I finally got the motivation to finish these. This one is Roy's and the one next to it is mine. I had to practice first before I filmed, so this is the third one. This one is Liz's. Something I have learned from sewing clothes and using clothing patterns is that you cut the pattern out while it's on the fabric so that you kind of have the edges and you only have to do those precise cuts one time. So that's what I'm doing here. I taped the patterns to the felt so that I could cut them out that way. Because these are so tiny and I can't quite, pin the pieces down in place, I just glued them. And I think that worked totally fine. You can't even tell that there's glue under there. And because I had already drawn these on Procreate, I knew exactly where everything should go because the proportions were exactly the same as my drawings. I stayed almost exact to my original drawing for the other two, but for this one, I went back and forth a lot on the colors when I was doing the Procreate version, so I think I always knew that I was going to need to make some game time decisions here. So this thread was originally blue in the drawing, and I changed it to yellow because the blue felt really aggressive. And the tassels were originally red in my drawing, but I realized that on my other two, the thread that held down the background was a different color than the thread that held the whole pocket together, so I didn't want this one to have red as both, so I changed it to yellow for this. This is a blanket stitch. I'm usually pretty bad at this, but after doing 3 of these pockets, I got it right on the last one. I thought that this would be a really cool thing for adventuring in D&D. So these 3 pockets are based on me and my friends' D&D characters, and I'm gonna make them into magic item cards for our game. Very cute.